If you have been watching my videos or listening to my podcasts, consuming any of the content that I put out, you probably know very well by now that narcissism is a distinct personality disorder. It is not a mental illness, and it is characterized by a lot of grandiosity, a lack of self awareness, a lack of empathy for other people, and a constant need for admiration. And the traits that make narcissists so difficult to hang out with or date on like for a long period of time, say a willingness, like a willingness to control people, and a ruthlessness in getting their needs met. It also happens to make narcissists effective at rising up the ranks in business aspects. Narcissists, they make up about 1% of the population. These are diagnosed narcissistic personality disorder. But when you think about the hundreds, if not thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of people that are running around undiagnosed, because Lord knows a narcissist will never seek therapy on their own, you kind of figure it out. You look around yourself and you're like, oh my gosh, maybe it's a family member or a boss or a former friend or a neighbor or a relative. And we've combed through all of the psychology literature on narcissistic personality disorder, and to help you along your journey, to help you figure out what happened to you, or your family member or whoever, you consumed this inordinate amount of information in order to help you heal alongside understand. We're going to turn it around just a little bit. We are going to talk about some signs that you might be a narcissist without even realizing it. And I'm going to list some characteristics and give some scenarios. So we're going to start out with bullying. Narcissists are bullies, and it is one of their most troublesome traits, they have a tendency to be a sore loser, and sometimes even a sore winner. And for example, say they lose in a sports match, like a basketball match, and a narcissist, they may try to, say, humiliate a player or a referee, and when they win, they will gloat excessively and act abusively, taunting the losing party. You constantly feel like you are underrated or underappreciated, and these are the type of people that psychotherapists, psychologists, psychiatrists, they consider grandiose, because they always hold some type of grievance against the world. And this narcissistic behavior will manifest with them feeling entitled to something better and thinking that they are not getting the recognition that they deserve from others. So if they're not grandiose, they're like this introverted, insensitive, hypersensitive, defensive, and anxious type that psychologists talk about. They talk about the two faces of narcissism. And on one end, there is this hyper aggressive, super loud, grandiose type. And then there's the softer form of narcissism. It's called, as we all know, covert narcissism or vulnerable narcissism, which is denoted by a lot of introversion and hypersensitivity, defensiveness, and anxiety. And both shades of narcissism, they share a common core of a lot of conceit, arrogance, and the tendency to give in to their own needs and disregard others. You might be a narcissist if you think that everyone else is stupid. Many narcissists are know-it-alls and have a hard time getting along with coworkers, getting along with friends, getting along with neighbors, because they refuse to believe that they could be wrong about literally anything. And even in the face of irrefutable evidence, they will double down, and they get backed into a corner. They will name call, they'll insult you, they'll hit you, they'll cut to the core. And I have observed that these narcissists, they kind of walk around with a very marked sense of superiority and a kind of a my way or the highway approach to their decision making function. If you really like to swear at people, you might be a narcissist. Oh gosh. So psychologists say that there was a study that was done that said that people who did score higher in narcissism and are more argumentative and curse more than their neurotypical counterparts. And they also tend to use more sexually explicit language. They are self-righteous, and narcissists, they believe that their views are inherently superior to other people's perspectives, regardless of where they get these views from, regardless of if they are in the majority in their opinion or in the minority in their opinion. And what they truly value is the attention that they receive from holding these views, and they will shame other people who they cannot accept that other people are autonomous human beings that can think for themselves and form their own opinions and have the right to that opinion and should be respected. Their opinion, everyone's opinion should be respected, regardless of how you feel about it or if it contradicts your own. And a person with narcissism, when they hear something that contradicts an opinion that they hold really close or that they get really worked up about, this is a really deep sense of it, like the narcissistic injury to them. And again, they will attack on a personal level. When somebody is just expressing an opinion, usually the case is they're expressing this opinion with the intent of doing good, not causing harm. And then you see these narcissists come out and attack the person whose opinion is contrary to their own. You might be a narcissist if you feel justified in being mean to other people. Vindictive narcissists generally know that vengeful and antisocial behavior is not acceptable, but they feel okay about doing it because they constantly feel that they are being wrong or that they have been wronged by anyone and everyone, by the world. And what's more, they take offense where it is not even intended. They cause chaos, they create offense, and meaning they're constantly hearing people say, that's not what I meant. As narcissists, sometimes, or typically really, they do enjoy like leadership positions since they are able to dominate others and fulfill that need for constant positive reinforcement. You might be a narcissist if you believe that you are more attractive than others, or that you think other people think that you are more attractive than other people in general. So narcissists are generally rated as more stylish and physically attractive. That there has been a study done on that. But this isn't always the case. So narcissists, they usually always rate themselves highly in both looks and intelligence. But when they took IQ tests, their results naturally were average. So when their peers were asked to rate these narcissists on their looks, the results were lower than what the narcissist gave themselves. You might be a narcissist if you put some people up on a pedestal. And the logic goes like this. If I find someone perfect or close to perfect, maybe some of their perfection will rub off on me and I'll become perfect by proxy or by association. So with that ideal in mind, narcissists, they love to cozy up to people that they find perfect, be it a colleague or a crush, and then they inevitably get very disappointed when that person is not as impeccable as they imagined. And for a narcissist, everything has to be perfect. You may be a narcissist if you like to put people down. Narcissistic people intentionally put people down, put down others in order to maintain a high image of themselves, as seeking admiration is like a drug. It's narcissistic supply. And in the long run, it becomes difficult because others they won't applaud them in some situations. So they always have to search for new acquaintances for whom they need to get that next fix from and who don't really know them well enough to be able to pick out what they're doing. And this also explains why narcissists typically maintain very weak relationships. And you might be a narcissist if your parents both ignored you and adored you. So, research, again, suggests that a combination of parental rejection and excessive admiration is more strongly linked to adult narcissism than if one childhood experience consistently existed without the other. So this inconsistency and this back and forth, this whiplash of the parent's attitude towards the child or the children will eventually cause that inevitable deep craving for admiration and lead the narcissist to a life of searching for fleeting ego boosts. You might be a narcissist if you choose your friends to look cool or to take advantage of people. As narcissistic men and women have different ways of choosing their friends. Women they choose male friends with a high social status so that they can have a sense of worthiness. Men tend to choose bros who can be wing men for them whenever they're going to try to pick up girls. So you may be a narcissist if you always have to be in control. And just as narcissists hate to talk about their feelings, they cannot stand to be at the mercy of another person's preferences. And it reminds them of their invulnerable or completely that they aren't invulnerable and that they or completely independent. And in fact, that they may have to ask somebody, God forbid, for what they want. And even worse, that people may not feel like meeting that narcissist request when they ask. So this is why they can be controlling without getting angry. And in the case of romantic relationships, narcissists, they always want to control people with disapproving glances, calls to change plans, and chronic lateness. This allows narcissists to always undermine other people's ability to make choices, to have opinions. And by doing that, the narcissist is maintaining their sense of total control, and the victim is losing their sense of autonomy, which they both so desperately need. My name is Sara Ann Brown, and this is Narcissistic Abuse 101. Hey guys, if you would like to donate to my cause, Narcissistic Abuse 101, click the PayPal link in my bio, and your donations will get people in need some free coaching. They will assist in the production of my new book, the production of these videos, and a lot of cool stuff that I have coming up. Thanks, guys.